The Raiders signed Shedeur Sanders to an $80 million guaranteed deal, with bonuses that could push it over $120 million. And if that number sounds absurd, good. It's supposed to. Because this isn't just about money. This is about identity. This is about a franchise that finally realized you don't win in today's NFL by just surviving. You win by owning the moment. And Shedeur Sanders is the moment. This isn't your typical quarterback acquisition. The Raiders didn't stumble into this. They engineered it. This was a surgical, all-in bet on the future. A full-scale culture shift. A statement to the league, to the fans, and to every executive stuck in the old way of doing business. They're not interested in safe anymore.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
They're interested in impact. And that's exactly what Shedeur brings, on and off the field. Let's talk about what this means for Vegas, because the ripple effect is already being felt like an aftershock across the league. This isn't just about Shedeur's arm talent or football IQ, though he is both in spades. It's about how his arrival completely transforms the DNA of the Raiders organization. Ticket sales? Through the roof. Merchandise? Already outselling every other player on the roster. Media coverage? Wall to wall. The moment this signing went public, Allegiant Stadium became more than just a home field. It became a center of gravity. And Shedeur? He's the pull. The Raiders didn't just sign a quarterback. They signed a vision. A quarterback who walks, talks, and performs like he was born to lead. One who understands that being a franchise QB in this era doesn't stop when the whistle blows. It extends to post-game interviews, social media presence, film crews, documentary features, and cultural resonance. They signed a brand as much as they signed a player. And to be honest, they needed it. Vegas was starting to feel like a team stuck in limbo. Big city, no soul. Lots of lights, no spark. The move from Oakland brought visibility, but not credibility. The franchise flirted with relevance, but never sustained it. Coaches came and went. So did quarterbacks. Derek Carr gave them consistency, but not electricity. Jimmy Garoppolo gave them headlines, but not results. Shedeur gave them both. And make no mistake, this wasn't just about upgrading talent. This was about turning the Raiders into a movement. They're not rebuilding, they're rebranding. And they just hired the perfect face for the front of the billboard. Shedeur's rise has been anything but traditional. He didn't ride the bench for 3 seasons waiting for his turn. He didn't blend into the background hoping to impress with quiet humility. He stepped into chaos, got hit, literally, and then spoke up when it mattered. In Cleveland, he exposed what no one wanted to say out loud. The quarterback room was broken, the coaching staff was checked out, and the leadership vacuum was swallowing everything in its path. So he walked, and the NFL watched. And when Vegas came calling, they didn't just offer money. They offered alignment. They offered trust. They offered power. They looked Shedeur in the eye and said, "You're not just our future, you're our foundation." That's how you win. The Raiders are treating Shedeur like what he is, an organizational pillar. The kind of player you plan your next 5 years around. The kind of player who walks into the locker room and immediately raises the temperature. And not with ego, with standards. That's what makes this such a radical shift. For so long, Vegas has felt like a franchise floating in its own mythology, living off the fumes of the past, hoping the ghost of Al Davis could still haunt their way into greatness. But Shedeur? He's not here for ghosts. He's here to build something new. This is a player who knows what he wants and refuses to shrink himself to make others comfortable. That mindset? It's contagious. Already, players are buying in. Coaches are adapting. The front office is stepping up. Everyone in the building knows. If you don't raise your level, you'll get left behind. Because Shedeur doesn't wait. And the NFL is watching. This move doesn't just shake up the AFC West. It rewrites how young quarterbacks are evaluated. Teams can't just look at 40-yard dash times or wonder how many college snaps a player took. They have to ask the bigger questions now. Can he lead a locker room? Can he be the face of a franchise? Can he handle the media, the spotlight, the machine? Shedeur's answered all three. With clarity, with charisma, with control. And that's why this deal, $80 million guaranteed, let's not forget, isn't just justified. It's inevitable. This is the NFL moving into its next era. And Shedeur Sanders is the bridge. The global marketing upside alone is wild. His reach extends beyond football fans. He brings in lifestyle followers, college fans, documentary watchers, sneakerheads, and young Gen Z kids who wouldn't normally care about Sunday matchups. He's a quarterback you draft and a business you invest in. For the Raiders, that means international expansion, bigger broadcast deals, bigger sponsorships, more eyes, more clicks, more money, and more relevance. And that's the game now. We're watching a new formula take shape. Elite talent plus elite brand equals unstoppable momentum. The Raiders just pulled the lever before anyone else. And they'll be the first to benefit. Sure, there'll be doubters. There always are. Some will call it premature. Some will say it's all marketing and no meat. But the smart ones? They'll see what this really is. A franchise choosing to lead the future instead of reacting to it. So what happens next? Training camp becomes a media circus. The documentary team gets full access. Jersey sales keep breaking records. And Shedeur? He'll do what he's always done. Stay locked in, stay prepared, and show the world that the hype wasn't manufactured. It was earned. Every snap, every drive, every headline will feel like a referendum on the new model. And the Raiders? They're betting the house that it works. So far, the odds are looking pretty damn good. So what do you think? Did the Raiders just change the quarterback market forever? Is Shedeur Sanders already the most influential rookie in NFL history? Or is this too much too fast? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're diving deep into this all season long. And if you want more raw, no-fluff breakdowns of the moves shaking up the NFL, make sure you subscribe. Because whether you're a believer or a skeptic, whether you're in the black hole or watching from afar, one thing is clear. The Shedeur Sanders era has officially begun. And the NFL will never be the same. It's not just that Shedeur Sanders got the biggest rookie quarterback deal in NFL history. It's not even that the Raiders had the nerve to cut that check. It's that, for once, a team actually understood the assignment. Because the truth is, most NFL franchises are scared. Scared of doing things differently. Scared of giving young players too much power. Scared of change. But Vegas? Vegas said, let's bet the future on someone who's already living in it. And you can feel the difference already. Gone are the days of the Raiders limping through seasons, hoping to win the news cycle once every 4 months. That's over. This is no longer a team desperate for relevance. This is a team building a legacy. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Shedeur isn't walking into a project. He's not being asked to fix something broken. He's being asked to lead something rising. This deal? It's the signal fire. A front office finally in alignment. A locker room filled with hungry talent. A fan base foaming at the mouth for a new face to believe in. The infrastructure is here. The moment is here. The stage is here. And Shedeur is walking onto it with the confidence of a player who knows, not thinks, knows that he was born for this. This is what the Browns never understood. In Cleveland, Shedeur was never treated like the centerpiece. He was one of many. A name on the roster. Another guy to compete, to grind, to be humble and wait his turn, even as the team crumbled around him. But the Raiders? They saw a different blueprint. They didn't want a rookie who would learn to blend in. They wanted one who would stand out, reshape the room, raise the standard, and sell the vision before a single snap. And that's what makes Shedeur's signing bigger than football. He's not just rewriting the story of the Raiders. He's rewriting what it means to be a franchise quarterback. This isn't a guy who needs to adjust to the spotlight. He is the spotlight. And that's where the league is headed. Gone are the days when quarterbacks could just throw spirals and let PR handle the rest. Today, your quarterback is your CEO, your brand ambassador, your culture setter, your walking marketing plan. and your face of the future. Shedeur checks every single one of those boxes and breaks a few others wide open. Let's talk economics for a minute, because this deal doesn't just shift the Raiders' fate, it could change the financial model of the NFL. An $80 million guaranteed deal, tied to a player still years from hitting his physical prime? That's the kind of number that terrifies conservative front offices. But guess what? It's already paying dividends. Within 48 hours of the announcement, Shedeur Sanders Raiders jerseys became the #1 selling item in the NFL store. Social engagement around the Raiders spiked 400%. Streaming platforms have already started negotiating for documentary rights. And ticket resale prices? Forget it. Nosebleeds are going for premium rates. This isn't a football decision. It's a business transformation. And every single layer of the Raiders ecosystem is benefiting. Sponsors are circling. Players are locking in. Fans are reactivating. National media is reprioritizing. Late-night shows want interviews. International markets want features. The NFL schedule makers? They're already circling matchups to push into prime time. Why? Because this isn't just a player, it's a phenomenon. But don't get it twisted. Shedeur isn't riding a media wave. He built the wave. From the way he carried himself during the Colorado era, to the composure he showed during the Cleveland debacle, to the confidence he's already bringing to Vegas. This is a player who knows how to move through fire without getting burned. There's no panic in his voice, no hesitation in his game, no fear in the moment. And if you think this is all flash, think again. Behind the brand is a quarterback with real chops, clean mechanics, quick release, calm under pressure, hyper-aware in the pocket, efficient on broken plays, deadly in late downs. That film doesn't lie. Coaches know it. Coordinators know it. Veterans? They know it too. You don't hand out $80 million to a YouTube personality. You do it for a player who can win you games and lead you through the chaos when everything is on fire. That's the Shedeur effect. And the impact isn't limited to Vegas. Across the league, other franchises are scrambling. Why? Because now every young quarterback will be compared to this standard. And it's not just can he throw like Shedeur. It's, does he have the poise? Can he lead a locker room from day one? Can he sell the franchise as well as he sells the play action? Because in today's league, that stuff matters. The days of raw but developing QBs slowly maturing over 5 years, they're dying. Shedeur just proved you can walk into the building and own it from the jump, if you've got the right mix of preparation, professionalism, and presence. And let's not sleep on the Raiders' front office here. For once, they moved like visionaries. This wasn't just about getting the best quarterback on the market. It was about redefining what a quarterback is. The moment they brought Shedeur into the fold, they started building around him, not just with him. They're revamping the offensive system, tailoring playbooks to his style, designing media strategies to boost his personal brand and the team's reach. They're investing in him like he's not just their quarterback. He's their future economy. Because he is. And here's the best part of all this. We're just getting started. No regular season snaps yet. No playoff pressure. No 2-minute drills down 6 points with the crowd screaming. That's all still ahead. And when it comes, you just know he's going to be ready. Because this isn't about whether Shedeur Sanders can handle the pressure. It's about whether the league is ready to handle him. If you're still not convinced this Shedeur Sanders deal changes everything, just look at how quiet the rest of the league has suddenly become. Front offices? Scrambling to reevaluate their rookie contract models. Coaches? Suddenly rethinking their earn-your-spot culture. Owners? Calling emergency meetings with marketing teams, asking, how do we get one of those? Because let's be honest, this wasn't just a contract signing. It was a wake-up call. The Raiders didn't just commit to a quarterback, they committed to an era. And while other teams were busy doing things the way they've always been done, Las Vegas said screw the tradition. We're building something entirely new. And the ripple effects? Immediate. TV networks are already adjusting their Week 1 lineups. The NFL is subtly reshuffling broadcast priorities. Suddenly, that Raiders versus Chiefs game? Prime time. Not just because of Mahomes anymore, but because of Shedeur. And let's pause for a second and appreciate how surreal that is. A rookie, without a single regular season snap to his name, is already changing how the league operates. Why? Because Shedeur isn't stepping into a normal rookie role. He's stepping into a movement. He's not a prospect. He's a product. He's not a gamble. He's an investment. And most importantly, he's not alone in this. The Raiders have built the house for him to thrive in. They're not asking him to carry a broken roster. They're not plugging him into a system designed for someone else. They've cleared the runway and told him, go fly. They're reshaping offensive schemes to leverage his mobility and accuracy. They're investing in a media machine to amplify his voice. They're hiring developmental coaches, not just for mechanics, but for mental prep, leadership, and public-facing confidence. Because again, this isn't the NFL of 10 years ago. This is a league that rewards control of the narrative just as much as it rewards control of the pocket. And that's what Shedeur has mastered. He's not just the quarterback of the Raiders. He's the main character of a billion-dollar storyline. And the franchise is fully leaning in. Let's talk brand impact for a second, because this is where things get even crazier. The moment the signing dropped, Raiders stock, figuratively and literally, surged. Sponsorships poured in. Luxury suites sold out. Vegas tourism boards launched Shedeur-themed campaigns. Social media impressions spiked past 40 million in 24 hours. And Shedeur? He wasn't just passively watching it happen. He was driving it. He posted. He spoke. He engaged. Like a star who's not just ready for the moment, but engineered for it. Let's not forget where this kid comes from. He's the son of Deion Sanders, a man who redefined swagger in professional sports. But Shedeur isn't just riding on his father's coattails. He's expanding the legacy, sharpening it, modernizing it. While Deion changed the game with attitude, Shedeur is changing it with alignment between brand, leadership, and raw talent. And that combo? We've never really seen it before. Not at this level. Not at this age. He's essentially a Fortune 500 quarterback, walking into the NFL with the tools of a CEO and the footwork of a veteran. And the Raiders? They had the clarity to see it before anyone else. Other teams blinked. Vegas bet the house. They didn't just draft a future. They built one. And if that sounds dramatic, it's because it is. This isn't just about touchdowns and interceptions. This is about a franchise rebuilding its entire identity around a player who represents a very new kind of power in the league. The power to change how players negotiate. The power to shift how brands activate. The power to make 22-year-olds more valuable than 32-year-old Pro Bowlers. And let's talk about those locker room vibes, because that's where it really gets real. Most rookie quarterbacks come in quiet. They defer. They listen. They earn their spot. Not Shedeur. And not out of arrogance, but out of vision. From day one, teammates said he walked in with command. Not cockiness, conviction. He knew the playbook. Knew the staff. Knew the names of the assistant trainers. Knew exactly where he wanted the offense to go. And the players? They felt it. Veterans leaned in. Young guys rallied. Not because they were told to, but because they saw the real thing. And when your QB has that kind of gravitational pull, you've got a shot at building something special. Vegas knows it. The players know it. And trust me, the rest of the league knows it. Which is why the whispers are already starting. Did we miss on Shedeur? Should we have made a play? Are the Raiders contenders now? Because that's the next domino, right? When your rookie QB is selling jerseys, shaking up the market, owning media cycles, and showing leadership behind closed doors, what happens when he starts stacking wins? What happens when he leads a fourth-quarter comeback? What happens when he outduels Herbert or scares Mahomes or outperforms Burrow in a marquee matchup? What happens when the brand and the ball start clicking at the same time? You don't just have a player. You have a phenomenon. And that's what scares the rest of the league. Because Vegas isn't supposed to move like this. They were supposed to be dysfunctional, flashy but flawed. That team with the shiny stadium and the half-baked plan. But now, they're operating like a superpower in the making. focused, unified, dangerous. Because when you combine a generational talent with organizational clarity, you stop hoping to win. You start expecting it. And here's the last thing nobody's saying out loud yet, but they will. This move? It didn't just launch the Shedeur Sanders era. It may have saved the Raiders franchise. No more being an afterthought. No more being the cool team with no results. This is structure. This is strategy. This is substance. And all of it is built around a quarterback who hasn't even taken his first regular season snap yet. So buckle up. Because what's coming next? It's not just football. It's not just business. It's history in real time. See, what makes this Shedeur Sanders, Raiders era so electric isn't just the money, the media frenzy, or even the football. It's the cultural energy building behind all. This deal represents a moment where football, celebrity, leadership, and movement all collided into one name. And what's wild is, it doesn't even feel forced. It doesn't feel like the Raiders are trying to make this happen. It feels like they finally found the guy who naturally makes all of it work. And now, people who don't even care about football, they're watching Raiders games. Because they want to see what Shedeur does next. That's not normal. That's not supposed to happen with rookies. This is the kind of thing we used to say about LeBron or Serena or Tiger. Now it's Shedeur, under center in Vegas, walking into this legacy like he already knows how it ends. And let's be clear, there will be pressure. The moment he throws his first interception, it's going viral. The first time the offense stalls, sports shows will ask if Vegas made a mistake. That comes with the spotlight. But here's what makes Shedeur different. He's not shaken by it. In fact, he invites it. The man literally grew up in it. Cameras in his face, doubters in his ear, expectations higher than the damn Stratosphere Hotel down the strip. And every time the stakes rise, he steps up. This isn't a QB who shrinks in the moment. He shapes it. So yes, it's going to be loud. It's going to be messy. There are going to be games where he looks human. That's football. But what we're watching with the Raiders right now, it's bigger than wins and losses. It's identity. This team has won again. Not just a mascot. Not just a logo. A pulse. A future. A reason to matter. They're not just playing to make the playoffs anymore. They're playing to become a destination. A force. A team that matters in December and January. Not just in highlight reels and nostalgia clips. And if they pull it off, Shedeur Sanders won't just be the highest paid rookie in NFL history. He'll be the most important one too. So stay locked in. The story's still unfolding, and you're not going to want to miss a second of it. Comment below. Is Shedeur the real deal? Did the Raiders finally break the cycle? And which team should try this model next? And don't forget to subscribe. Because when the future of the NFL is being built in real time, this is where you'll hear it first. The Shedeur Sanders era isn't hype. It's reality now.